Hey there, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward, back again with another Ask Lee video Q&A. Today's question was sent in by Manik Patel, and he says, "Hey Lee, how are you doing? I'm a big fan of yours. I've been working out for 2 years. I watch each and every video you've posted. I've downloaded your programs also. I'm gaining strength, but I don't see any visible development of my muscles. Am I missing something in my exercise routine?" Okay, good question. And what you're experiencing is very normal. I mean, I can relate to this when I started training. You know, I was going, training, working out, getting stronger, making progress in the gym, but didn't have the definition and the detail that we associate with competitive bodybuilders. And the more I learned about bodybuilding and got around competitive bodybuilders, the more I understood how this process works. And even top-level bodybuilders are not walking around, ripped to the bone, shredded year-round. I mean, many of them get very smooth in the off-season. And in order to get that lean, ripped, hard body that we associate, the visible cuts and striations and all that kind of detail, they have to go through a rigorous pre-contest diet phase, anywhere usually from 3 months plus, depending on the bodybuilder and how much body fat they're carrying and everything else. But even top-level bodybuilders have to go through a pre-contest diet phase in order to get that lean, ripped physique that we associate with competitive bodybuilding. And I'm just going to show you some pictures. I'm just going to go on Google Images now and show you some pictures of what I mean by this. So right here, all I did was do a search for off-season bodybuilders. And we have our current Mr. Olympia, Phil Heath. And you can see in these pictures right here, in this one, his off-season picture, even though obviously he's still a world-class bodybuilder, but you can see the level of definition is much smoother and softer compared to what he looks like when he's dieted down and contest ready. And some other pictures here you can see again. Here's an off-season bodybuilder doing a guest posing appearance. Again, much smoother, much less definition compared to when they're getting ready for competition or when they're actually on stage competing. Another picture here, this is of Ben Pekulski. And again, you can see, even though he's in fantastic shape, lots of thick muscle development, the level of definition just isn't there. It doesn't have the cuts and the striations that he would get if he dieted down and got ready for competition. So here's another one, Johnny Jackson. You can see off-season versus pre-contest. Lee Priest, here's an off-season picture of him as well. Again, a lot of muscular development, but lacking the definition. Here's Ronnie Coleman doing a off-season guest posing appearance. And you can do this yourself. You can just go online and search for off-season bodybuilders and see these pictures for yourself to kind of get an idea of the difference. Right here is a picture of Jay Cutler, and I have to admit, he actually does look quite heavy set in this picture. He's well bulked up, let's put it that way. So when it comes to bodybuilding, you really need to look at it as a two-step process. You have your mass building phase where you're going to focus on filling out your frame with muscular body weight, and then you have your fat loss / cutting phase where you're going to focus on maintaining your lean mass while stripping away excess body fat to reveal the definition underneath. And this is the way that all competitive bodybuilders go about it. Nobody stays on this permanent get huge, get shredded program year-round, because it just doesn't work that way. I'm not saying that you're going to purposely try and get fat when you're in a bulking phase or a mass building phase, but it's inevitable that if you're eating a calorie surplus, you're training heavy, and your focus is on getting bigger, that you're going to gain some body fat in the process. So that's why you're not going to have the detail or that visible look to your body that a pre-contest bodybuilder will. And as we just seen, even top-level pros are the same way, right? They don't have that ripped-to-the-bone look when they are in their off-season phase. So when it comes to your own training, you really need to evaluate where you are in your own level of development and what's the next best step for you. One of the mistakes I see a lot of guys make is they start cutting too soon. If you have someone who's relatively a thin build person, and they just start cutting, they want to have ripped abs, and I mean, some guys are just obsessed. They say, "Oh, I want to have abs," and so they start off, extreme dieting and cutting without a solid muscular foundation underneath. Then what often ends up happening is they just look really skinny and rail thin, and they may diet down, get their skin thin, but they won't have the level of development or the physique that they want. They'll just look really sickly skinny in some cases. So what I generally recommend for most guys who are of an average build is to focus on building muscle first. It's harder to build muscle than it is to burn body fat. I mean, pretty much anybody who's within a decent body fat percentage, within an average range. I'm not talking about people who are extremely obese. I'm just talking about, an average guy who's going to the gym and working out. Pretty much anybody who's in that situation can get ripped enough so that they have visible six-pack abs within 6 months or less of fat loss dieting. But it takes years to build a solid muscular foundation. So if your ultimate goal is to be a big muscular bodybuilder and fill out your frame with solid muscular body weight, then I would recommend prioritizing the mass building phase first. Put some meat on your bones. And then once you have a decent level of development to work with, then you can focus on cutting later on to bring out the definition and the detail. So hopefully this helps to answer your question. I know there's a lot of different variables here because it all really depends on the individual. But again, I just want to kind of give you an overview of how the process works. And if you have any questions, comments, or feedback to this video, feel free to post those down in the comment section below, and I'll chat with you down there. And stay tuned for my next video coming soon. Take care. Over and out. And just one more thing before you go. I have a special gift for you. It's a free 51-page report called The 3 Keys to Building Muscle. This report is an easy read, and it covers the fundamentals to getting in shape: training, nutrition, and mindset. The training section will show you how to combine strength training workouts and cardio conditioning together for building lean muscle while burning body fat at the same time. The nutrition section will show you how to figure out the exact number of calories that you need for your body type and the proper ratio of protein, carbohydrates, and fat. It even outlines a sample daily meal plan that you can follow along with. And finally, the section on mindset will help set you up for success by taking a practical and realistic approach to goal setting and following through with your fitness program. To download your copy, just click on the link in the video description below or visit my website at leehayward.com.